everyone, this is Kim's Craft Table. Welcome to my kitchen table, literally. I no longer have a craft room at the moment. When we left Washington State and moved back to Tennessee, I gave up my craft trailer that my husband had converted from. It was a camper trailer, and he had converted it into a craft trailer for me. And I really miss it. And so currently I am working off my kitchen table. But in just a couple of years, my kids will be graduating and moving on, and I'll have 2 rooms unused, too much space. So I don't want to build on now with only 2 years to go, and I'll just take one of those rooms as a craft room. So if that makes sense, I don't. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to do this really quick ATC card. It's kind of neat. This is a 2.5 by 3.5 inch card. And what I'm going to be using is Tim Holtz Distress Ink in Vintage Photo, some StazOn ink, some Mod Podge, a script stamp by Hero Arts, an ink blender tool. I have I'm dropping everything, a 6x6 stencil that I got from Crafter's Workshop. It's the brick. And I'm also going to be using this little stamp that I got at Walmart Studio G. I think I got this for 50 cents. Cool little stamp for 50 cents. Anyway, let's get started. The first thing we need to do is stamp our script stamp onto the paper here. So I'm going to take this StazOn ink. Well, let's see. Do I want to do it on StazOn? You could do either one, but I think I'll do the StazOn. Ink it up really good. Back on there so it don't dry out. And then I'm just going to stamp that on here. Just like that. Got a huge piece of paper towel here. Clean that up before it dries anymore on there. Okay, kind of air dry this a minute. And then what we're going to do is take our stamp and position it over the card like you want it. Then take our Mod Podge, and you want to put a real thin coat of this on here. And thin because you don't want it to seep under your stencil if you can keep it from doing so. So just paint it on there. I really miss Washington. For those of you who live in Washington State, I sure do envy you. My husband would move back in a heartbeat if I would let him. But this is my first home that we have owned, and I don't want to give it up. And and I really like it. It's a small house, a little farmhouse, and I just love it. And I like being back here with family, and that I have missed for the 10 years that we were out in Washington State. And so it's good to be back. The one thing I do miss for sure is the weather in Washington. Oh, it's wonderful weather. Even the winters were better there than they are here. Here it's a very damp cold, so it's kind of bone chilling. I mean, it just gets in your bones and you just freeze to death. But out there it's a drier climate, and even though they have more snow and stuff, it's just not as cold. It's just wonderful, and I love the snow. I miss the snow. We never get snow here, and when we do, it's mostly ice. It just turns to ice right away, and it's really dangerous to drive on, and we lose electricity and power lines, and it's just really bad here. When it comes a storm, when the weatherman says a storm's coming, everybody runs to the grocery store and buys milk and bread and eggs, because it's going to be a serious storm. Where unlike in Washington, you got a snowstorm, you just got a lot of beautiful snow, and I really miss it. You want to get this really good, but at the same time, again, you don't want it to get under your stamp if you can keep it from doing so. Okay, just about done. Probably tired of hearing me chatter. One more. I had just enough Mod Podge. How about that? Okay. Alright, then we're going to take this off. Now, I didn't do a real good job. I let some of that seep under my stencil, but maybe it'll be okay. We'll see. Real quick, I'm going to run and wash off my stencil and wash my brush and hit the card with the heat gun real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I hit this with the heat gun. I think it was pretty much already dry by the time I washed out my brush and everything. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I don't know what I'm doing here, do I? We're going to take our Distress ink. Again, it's Vintage Photo. And we're going to let the magic happen. We're just going to take this and rub it on here. And as you can see, our Mod Podge worked as a resist. And I didn't do a good job. I'm so disappointed in this card. I let the glue seep under. So we're not going to see as much of the brick, the lines in the brick, as we normally would if you didn't let the, see, where I let it should be lines all across here, and I let the Mod Podge seep under there. But you get the idea. It's still pretty cute. And I want it a little bit darker, so I'm going to go over it again. There you go. I'm just wiping some of that Distress ink off. In fact, I think I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe a little bit of it off. And there you have it. Pretty cute, huh? And then all we have left to do is to take this little Studio G stamp stick it on a plate. Need to clean my plate, it's awful dirty. Stamp it up and stamp it on here. And there you have a cute little ATC card. And I hope that this technique will inspire you with some other ideas to use it as a resist. And I hope you like this tutorial. Thanks for watching.